In today's video we're going to have a look at our Camper King camper van. So we've had our Camper King camper van now for about 5 weeks. Loving it. We've done about 1,200 miles in it so far. We've yet to stay overnight in it, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you what we think of our Camper King conversion. So we've gone for the gloss grey carbon effect cabinets, which we love. We also love the stainless steel push buttons for all the cabinets. It's very nice. So we'll start with the storage. So on the upper level here, as you can see, we've got 3 separate cabinets. I have to say it's a bit false, because when you open the cabinet up, actually inside, as you can see, it's hollow all the way through. It's not separate compartments, but it's still very handy. As you can see, we're already finding things to put in there. We will do a review of what you should take with you on camping once we've had our first successful camping trip. Don't want to profess that we know everything on a video before we even go camping in the van. But as you can see, there's plenty of upper storage available. And if we move down one level, as you can see, we've got some rather nice curtains, and obviously because you have a cooker in this van, we have a window that opens here. So we'll just open that now, which should of course be opened if you're using the gas hob. Staying in this area, we'll have a look first at the sink, which is under here. This is obviously powered by an electric pump, but you just simply lift the tap up, and obviously you can turn the tap on. Obviously the pump's not on at the moment, but it's very neat. And then next to it we have 2-ring gas hob, which is again very nice. So it's fed by a gas can that's in the rear of the van. We'll show you that in a few minutes. What we particularly like is if you look at this recessed area in the stainless here, it gives you a good run off straight into the sink for when you're cleaning the hob, so that's handy. And of course when you're finished with it, just carefully pop the lid back down, remembering to put the tap back down, and it's stowed away lovely. So below this in our van we've got the fridge. There's a lot of conversions out there that's got a Dometic fridge. At the moment it's on vent, because obviously we're not using it at the moment. So to take it off vent, there's a catch here. So all we need to do is open the fridge, and then we just simply turn the catch away like that, and then the fridge will lock in its usable position. But obviously, as I say, just to stop it going funny inside with it not being on, we put the catch back like that, and it keeps it vented. Then we move on to additional storage. Some Camper King conversions and other conversion companies put a grill in here. We've chose one without the grill. We didn't think we needed it. So again, you've just got additional storage in there, which is really handy. And more push button units down the bottom. Now this time these have been separated, so they are individual cupboards, which is really nice. As you can see, we've got lots of stuff already in here. So hiding behind this cushion here we have yet another unit, which is very deep. As you can see at the moment, we've got a fire extinguisher and a fire blanket that we need to fit up, but we haven't actually used the camper proper yet. but again, it's very deep in there, very usable. And we got additional storage under the rock and roll bed. Now, although obviously it's full, what I would say is we've got in there 2 full sleeping bags, adult sleeping bags, and this particular item here is a double foldable seat, so it gives you an idea of what you can fit in that area. I personally like to keep everything out of sight, not just from a theft point of view, I'm just a bit OCD with tidiness. So I love the fact that we can store everything away, so that's really good. Right, let's have a look at this rock and roll bed. As you can see, it's configured to carry 2 people, but to change it into a bed, all you have to do is find this handle, push it down, the bed will start to slide. It's no effort, very easy to do, and there you have it. One bed. So that was very easy to do. Now this is a short wheelbase van, but as you can see there's still some space between the front seats and the bed when the bed's folded down. Obviously there are curtains for the back windows there, and obviously at the side there. How easy is it to put the bed back up? Well, we've got this additional strap. We just simply, with the knees, push the knees, yes that's my knees, push the knees against the front of the seat, and at the same time give a pull on this strap, and then once the seat starts to move you can just gently, with the knees, push it back and you'll hear it click into place. That really is simple. Let's move the strap out of the way, the OCD's kicking in again. Now what I like about this rock and roll bed is, whatever we've got stored in here, if you remember all the items that we've got in here, it's not affected by rolling out the bed. Which basically means I'm not having to move everything out if we don't want to use what's stored in there when we want to use the bed, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So if we look at the control panels, up here as you can see we have a Webasto heater in ours. It's a diesel fed heater. Very simple to use. Just push the power button, display will light up, it will tell you what the temperature is in the van. You can dial up or down the temperature as you so desire. What we like about it is the outlet for it is down there under the driver's seat, and the diesel that feeds it is coming from the diesel tank of the van, so you haven't got to worry about topping it up, which is excellent. We have every confidence that's going to keep us warm in winter when we're camping. So the main feature first is to power it up. If we put the lights on by pressing that button, as you can see the LED lights have now come on. There are a lot of LED lights in the van. So we've got 3 under the upper cabinets there. We have 2 in the roof there at the rear. We have a further 2 over the side door, and then currently hiding, but we'll be seeing them in a few minutes, we have 2 more for anyone that's sleeping upstairs. So we're not wanting for lights. This switch is simply for additional lights that you may want fitted, so we're not using that switch at the moment. This switch simply powers up the water pump for the sink if you want to use the sink. On this button it will show you the condition of the battery of the vehicle. If you can see, there's just a symbol there showing you the vehicle. This button will show you the accessory batteries or the leisure batteries and the condition of those, indicated by this graph at the side. It's probably hard to pick up on here. And finally you've got the water level, which as you can see is red because our 20 litre water tank that's fitted to this van is currently empty. We've not used it yet. But basically it's giving you all the information you need from a camping perspective. Down here we have 2 240 volt sockets. Obviously please note these will not work unless you're connected up to a campsite. You need to be connected up to the 240 outlet, which we'll show you in a few minutes. And here we have 2 USB sockets that are live. So in our particular van we chose 2 leisure batteries to be fitted, which I think will be more than enough for what we need. They will charge automatically when the vehicle is being driven, and they will also charge when you're connected up to the 240 hookup at the campsite. Yes, we now have stickers on our vehicles, and after a recent visit to Busfest, if you've not watched our video of Busfest, please check it out. We've acquired an alien, peace to the alien, and as you can see our van is named Daisy Daydream. Right, let's look in the rear. So for our van we chose the tailgate version. Why did we choose the tailgate version? Like everything, it's pros and cons. We like the fact that it's one big door, and because of the way the rock and roll bed is set up, the kids are effectively able to sit on this little piece here, and you end up with effectively a bit of a sunshade there, which is rather nice. Used it myself. What's the cons of the tailgate door? Well, obviously it's a very big door, so if parking's limited then you could find that you're not able to open it, whereas the twin barn doors would be easy to open. But we just preferred the tailgate. So in the back, if we look in here, this is where the electrics are. So here we have circuit breaker. That is our trickle charger. And some fuses up there. It's a very neat install, and it was a logical place for me to put the extension lead, spare bulbs, all sorts of electrical bits and pieces in there. Below that we got storage for the gas can, which is hiding just there, so it's a simple knob control to turn it on and off. Not used that yet. Obviously that's only powering the gas hob. And we have more storage under the rock and roll bed here. As you can see, we've got a porta potty in here, a sleeping bag, and a picnic blanket behind there. Plenty of space. Obviously there's some spare space here and above the seat. The 2 items you'll certainly need to go camping in your camper van is an extension lead, and that extension lead simply plugs into the side of your camper. It's hiding under this flap here. Obviously you need a good length extension lead because you're not going to be too sure as to how far away the power is. And then for your 20 litre water tank, you need to fit it up here. Just get the key, unlock it, and that's where we pop the 20 litres of water in. Nice and simple. Just lock that back up. You know when it's locked because it just turns like that. So that's all good. So the outlet for the diesel heater is on the off side of the van, just behind the driver's door. And the outlet for the grey water, which is obviously from the sink, is behind that, which is just in front of the rear wheel. One thing I would absolutely recommend is getting yourselves one of these. What does this do? Well, this converts your outlet that you've seen on the side of the van into a standard 240 volt 3-pin plug. So if I'm staying at friends or family, for instance, and we're sleeping outside in the van, we can connect to their 240 volt supply. No problems at all. Very useful. Literally a few pounds. Must have. So the next thing to show you will be the swiveling seats. Now we've chose on our van to have the double seat. You can have a single seat option with armrests, which in a way would be easier because, as you'll see in a minute, it's a bit more involved to turn the seats round. It is a clever system that they have on these vans, and I believe most conversion vans use the same system anyway, so it's not specific to Camper King conversions. But as you'll see, if you've got the single seat, it would be so much easier to turn it around. But we're going to show you how to do it anyway. So as you can see here, we basically have 2 bolts. So we need to loosen the bolts off. And when you do so, there is a little like cotter pin. Now it's very important that that cotter pin is able to sit, if you can see that there, above the fittings, and then that keeps that bolt away when you're turning the seat around, as you'll see in a minute. Now we have to do that on all the bolts. Unfortunately there's 4 bolts, so we've got 2 at the back and 2 at the front. I might speed this bit up a bit. Okay, making sure that the van is in gear and the handbrake's off, you start to turn the seat, and as you can see you turn it in an anti-clockwise way, and there you have it. And then all you need to do is get the bolts and connect them back down. So as you can see, it's a bit of an involved process. Something that with the single seat would be so much easier to do. One thing you need to be aware of is the double seat is useful. Yes, you can carry 5 people instead of 4, which we do need to do sometimes. But when you're using it and you've got the table out and you're eating, you realise that actually it's quite a tight fit. You really do need to know the person you're sitting next to very well, because there's no shoulder room, so it's not as comfortable as we first thought it would be. We're still pleased we've got it from the point of view that obviously we do need to carry 5 people occasionally, but I would ask you to think strongly whether you do need to carry a 5th person, because if not, I really do think the single captain's chair would be much better. Now we've got the table to show you. So the table is currently positioned, it's not fitted on a clip or anything, but it's hiding behind the driver's seat. It doesn't move around, it doesn't rattle, it's absolutely fine. All you need to do is place it on the floor. As you can see, it's got a single leg. Release it with this little button at the side by pushing it in. Pull the leg up. It locks into place, as you can hear. Although this is a little difficult one-handed. Turn the table around. And then as you can see, there is a rail fitted the full length of the cabinet here. So all you need to do is place the 2 catches anywhere at all on the rail. It is designed to be able to be driven with this in situ, so you can leave it in place if you so wish. And then underneath, if you can see, we've just got some catches, and you just put the catches on and the table's secure. And we have already found, even when we've been staying at holiday cottages but we've been driving out and about in the day, that it means you can basically stop, have lunch and not pay the £20–30 at the services. Bring your own. So slowly but surely, Daisy Daydream is probably paying for herself. We might have to own it for about 80 years to recoup all the money, but hey ho, it's still good fun. I still feel like I'm being watched by those monkeys. Right, let's pack the table away and show this van's party piece. On some conversions, there are additional straps at the rear which allow the rear of the pop top to go up a little. It's a bit more of a faff. Ours doesn't have that. All ours has is the 2 straps at the front, and obviously it's nice and simple. Although obviously I'm doing this one-handed, so you just got to release the strap, take the strap off, and there's another strap here. So again, release the strap, and take the strap off, and then to lift the pop top up, all we have to do is give it a push, one-handed, and let the struts do the rest. if we pop outside, we can pop out to see the pop top roof. There you go. I hope you'll agree that's an absolute doddle to do. Yes, the California has an electronic lift roof, but I'm more than happy with the Camper King pop top roof. And then, whilst the roof is up, let's get some additional height. So again, the base of the bed, you may want to see the bed actually, so there's your peak. So if you remember, we said there's additional LED lights either side. The plan is that the kiddies are going to sleep up here because they enjoy the fact that they have to climb up onto the bed. There's plenty of room. Obviously your feet go down the far end of the van. So to get additional headroom, again, this is on struts. Give it a gentle push. Let the struts do the work. And all of a sudden, I'm standing up in our van. Now I'm about 5'10" and a bit with the hat. And as you can see, there's plenty of room. And I can walk right up to the base of the seat before I touch the roof. And obviously, I can walk right to the front of the van. It just feels so much bigger. It's fantastic. And what you have are additional zip side panels, so we can let some light in, like so. Particularly nice on a sunny day like today. So there are 3 of those, one either side and one at the front. Let's open the front up. So these panels themselves, they do not zip out, unfortunately. Yes, I can imagine on a cold winter's night it would be cold in here unless we put thermal blankets around them, which you can buy separately, and we will no doubt do so. Although, as I've said, we've got a Webasto diesel heater, so that's not too bad. And also I can imagine it getting quite warm in summer. But even so, I hope you'll agree, it's very nice in here, and we're looking forward to our first camping, or our first camping night in our new van. So what do you think, folks? Is that easy to do? We think it is. I'm currently standing in Rolleston in Derbyshire on my own, holding a camera in one hand and still using the pop top, no problem at all. And that seat, yes, that would have been even easier if it was a single captain seat, but I think I've said enough about that seat now. Time to show you it all back together again. So, like everything in life, there's a bit of a knack, I would suggest, to putting the pop top down. And I would also say, if you've got the double seat, it's a lot easier to put that pop top down while the double seat is in that position rather than in its driving position. Why? Well, it just, as you'll see in a minute, it gives you more ability to get in the right place to pull the pop top down. Obviously, if you've got a single captain's chair, then you can stand between the 2 front seats, so that's not a problem to be pulling the pop top down. But with the double seat, you need the additional space, and it certainly does work better if you can do it with the seats turned that way. It's not impossible the other way, but you just, it's just a faff, for want of a better word. It's not so easy to do. So I would highly recommend having the seat in that position if you've got the double seat. Right, so that's enough of that. Let's get the pop top down. Now first, an obvious thing to do is to pull the bed base down, and all you've got to do is pull against the struts. It's actually quite gentle, and then the weight will take it and it will sit itself back down. That's no problem. But now for the pop top, I'm going to stand you here and hopefully you'll get to see what I'm doing. So the trick is, actually before we do that, I've got to show you the straps, haven't I? So there's two straps. There's one up there and one up there, and it's those I'm going to use now to pull down on the pop top roof. Here we go. So I'm going to pull on the straps, and the trick, if you can hear me, is to get the roof about 2/3 of the way down. There's very little resistance now. It's not fighting me to go back, so that's good. And then all you need to do, if you can see what I'm doing, is carefully fold the fabric in. Now it's handy if there is somebody outside, just to check that all the fabric is in, but we should be fine. And once you're satisfied that the fabric's in, pull the rest of the roof down, and then allow my OCD just to tidy up the lining a little. And then, as you can see, I'm not having to hold on to the roof at all. It's staying in situ fine. So now I'm just going to reattach the straps. I think I'll speed this bit up. And that's it, folks. Okay folks, that's our new camper van. I hope you found that useful. I hope we've shown you a lot of the features that the van comes with when you buy one from Camper King. As I've said before, there are a lot of different converters out there. I'm sure there's a lot of good converters out there, and I'm sure there's some not so good converters out there. When we were reviewing Camper King, in all honesty, it was quite easy to find positive reviews, but also quite easy to find negative reviews. We will be completely honest with our Camper King conversion. If we have a problem with it, we'll say so on a future video. We've had no problems with it whatsoever at the moment. There's been no squeaks, no rattles, no creaks of any kind. It feels absolutely solid. I did once get a slight creak coming from behind my ear when I was driving, only to realise that actually it was the headrest rubbing against the cabinet because of how I'd moved the seat back. So that was a very easy fix. Otherwise, very happy with it indeed. It's very simple to use. Looking forward to our first night of camping with the kids. They're obviously excited to do it. Please consider subscribing to our channel. It really does show your support, and it's very much appreciated. See you in the next one. This is particularly useful. All you have to do is lift this handle, and there you have it. One bed. Morning. And hiding under here we have two one thing I would certainly recommend getting, we were recommended. I think we'll let the bikes go past first. We'll do that again. I'm not worried about you. Bikes again.